limits, boundaries, borders. When we're children, they're set for our good.
So lost.
To protect us, to keep us safe. How did something that was meant for our good and our protection, limits, come to define us?
Am I good enough?
What about my career?
Did
I lead a good life?
When did the limits of someday when become the lid that closed so tightly on our already restricted boxes?
Did I love my family enough? I'm never going to be good enough.
Am I good enough?
When did outside voices, opinions, hurts, and disappointments become the borders that limited our dreams?
If only I was more beautiful. When will I be? Thought I knew my path, but...
Yet something inside each of us longs for more. For life beyond our limits, for possibilities that are waiting for you to reach out to seize. So the question is, are you willing to take that step? To trust God as we embark on a journey of limitless influence, limitless opportunity, limitless potential, and limitless legacy. As we trust our limitless God, churches planted, leaders developed, communities transformed, care centers expanded, global outposts established, all while leaving a gospel legacy to the next generation. This is faith without borders, hope without boundaries, love without barriers. This is what God can do. This is limitless.
Believing again that we serve a limitless God who can do anything, change anyone, and move everywhere. Believing again that God is in the business of lifting lids and removing the self-imposed borders and barriers in our lives. That's limitless. Faith without borders. Limitless, it's a spiritual journey about what God is doing in us and through us, individually and collectively as a church body. It's a 2-year journey of courageous generosity and kingdom expansion. In Mark chapter 10, when discussing wealth and generosity and inheriting the kingdom of God, Jesus, he looked at his disciples and he said, "With man, it's impossible, but not with God, for all things are possible with God." This is a new era for Highpoint.Church, and we're believing God to do the impossible. He's establishing a path forward for years to come in 4 major areas that touch every facet of this ministry.
In regards to limitless and generosity, God is really showing me and showing us, I would say, that He's there and He's going to provide. He's going to lift us up and He's going to give us what we need. We had twins just 2 years ago, and it was a scary time in a lot of ways for us.
I'm often thinking about or worrying about how expensive it's going to be for our 4 children, and just feeling this, need to provide. I can choose to, hoard our finances, but at the same time, that is, me trying to do it by myself. And I really just view generosity and giving as my expression to the Lord that, this is all yours.
Limitless influence. It's all about doubling down on what we've been doing over the past 21 years to invest in our kids, our students, our community, and the next generation leaders to multiply disciples so that more people can believe in, belong to, and become like Jesus. So that's why we're including in Limitless what God is already doing, because it's not all about what's new. It's about honoring and leveraging the influence God has already entrusted to us.
Well, we wanted to get involved with launching Hinsdale because we've been looking for a church in this area for a long time. We were just so excited that they asked us, just because there's such a need in this community.
Limitless opportunity. It's all about expanding the impact of our campuses and church plants in Illinois, around the country, and across the globe. To see lives transformed through our new Hinsdale and St. Charles locations. To plant a full-blown Highpoint congregation inside the walls of Stateville Correctional Center. To see Highpoint and Espanol reach the Hispanic community, not just in Naperville, but in 3 new Highpoint locations. To, by faith, believe that God will open the door for a new Highpoint location in downtown Chicago. And to establish 5 hubs for training and sending church planners and ministry leaders all around the world in Chicago, Romania, St. Vincent, Africa, and Russia. These are the opportunities that God is giving to us to take new ground for his kingdom as we plant and grow churches who show and share the love of Jesus in their communities. Limitless potential. It's about maximizing what God has already given to us. In a season that has increased isolation, loneliness, and a lack of connection, our desire is that High Point would be the most welcoming and hospitable church in the cities we serve by creating physical spaces for community and connection. So this is what we're believing God for: to increase the footprint of our High Point care centers by establishing a permanent care center in every location we own, to expand our current care centers to serve thousands of families in our communities through meeting physical needs, financial needs, and sharing the hope and help of Jesus, to maximize the worship and meeting spaces for our young families by ensuring that all of our locations have world-class children's environments to create an atmosphere for spiritual transformation. Limitless Legacy. I think you'll agree with me that leaving a legacy is something we all desire with our lives. God is going to unlock the legacy he has already placed within us through Limitless, a legacy of care. Not simply stating High Point Cares as a slogan, but rather a reality for who we are as a people, a legacy of multiplication. By being a kingdom-minded church, expanding from just building the ministries of High Point to blessing other churches with the library of resources our ministries produce, and a legacy to the next generation, as together we train up next-gen leaders and rethink what the future of student and young adult ministry will look like. We're believing God to mobilize a limitless faith among his people as we ask him to show us what kind of impact he wants to make in and through us over the next 2 years. We're asking you to join us on a spiritual journey with God to take the largest step of generosity you've ever taken as we move together to take the largest step of faith we've ever taken as a High Point family.
God's got you. And we've seen it happen. The more generous we are, the more people we're able to reach.
This is a generous church. We're, called to almost, prove our love of Christ by showing our generosity to others. And I feel strongly how well that the church has modeled that.
I mean, you have to step into something, if you really want to grow your faith, beyond whatever borders or confinement that you've created. It's really just all about trusting him. He's God. He owns everything. It's all his. Your life is his. Why wouldn't you want to trust him? He's going to take care of you.
I just think the Lord can do great things. And I think he will do great things here. So I want to be a part of that.